Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back today to record another reading for you guys here on the Whale Called Moon channel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm just going to be reading from the tea that I've got here. This is an apple, rosehip, and basil tea. The apples are really good for abundance, and the basil I actually dried. I grew in my garden last season, or maybe it was the season before. It's Greek columnar basil, which is the best. If you see it at the stores this season, definitely want to grab some of it. It stores really well and lasts a long time. So, and the rose hips are really high in vitamin C, and they also add a lot of flavor to like the apple. And they are in the same family. Roses and apples are in the same family, so they actually really enhance anything that you make with apples. So if you bake like an apple crisp and you add the rose hips in, it really helps to basically enhance the flavor. So yeah, so I actually tried to record this a second ago, and for whatever reason I had to stop my reading, and I'm basically just starting over again. I do want to say though that it's important to stay grounded at this time. My guides have reminded me that the sun is in the sign of Aries, and so Aries is kind of like a very intense fire sign that doesn't really think things through too much. It doesn't really take a lot of breaks or rests. Just kind of goes. So I would encourage everybody to take a rest if you could, to kind of get grounded if you can by, trying to like pace yourself, maybe do a little yoga, do some reading, read a book, listen to some music. Very good ways to get grounded. But I personally feel the most grounded when I'm just like doing some stretching. So you might want to just do some stretching. You don't have to even do yoga, but when I do stretching, I feel like that really grounds me. And when I'm not like in a rush, so I would avoid rushing at this time. I think I mentioned this in one of my other readings, but my guides wanted me to share that too. So I'm going to pull some cards, see what Moon has to say. Some of you have, she's showing me like what I would call a very kinetic energy or moving energy. I'm going to write this down. My friend Sam used to call it moving energy. And all that is when your energy is kind of swirly, it's swirled up, it's kind of going everywhere, kind of like this. It's just kind of going everywhere. And you could be literally moving, traveling, or it's just the energy itself is kinetic. And it's like, you could be like dropping things. Like yesterday I was dropping things a lot, and it's like, why did all of the bananas have to fall onto the floor kind of thing. So you'll know it's not necessarily a bad energy, and it's not necessarily ungrounded energy. It just means that like your energy has started to shift in a way that kind of makes it hard to not have things fly off the table, because it's just like, it's almost like you've got like if you could think of it like a swarm of bees around you. That's what's happening with your energy, kind of. And the swarm of bees, like no matter what you do, the swarm of bees comes in contact with things outside of you, and you don't even realize like necessarily your boundaries. So remember your boundaries. Remember to watch your physical boundaries. And some of you may be moving. or traveling, or just like gearing up for a move or a change. This most of the time though doesn't happen unless someone is actually moving or traveling. So I would be very surprised to see, like, to hear about it. You know, you can have kinetic energy sometimes if you're under tremendous stress. So some of you may have just be going through a period of tremendous stress. Moon is saying that there's something that's going to be happening in 4 days' time. The number 4 is coming through. My guides are also confirming 4 days' time. Something will be happening. Let me see. You actually might be moving or traveling within 4 days also. I'm getting confirmation on that for someone. But I think the 4 days is something else too for some of you. It's like an event. I'm getting confirmation on an event. Something major is happening. Now, it could be personal, but it also, I'm seeing something in the world that's majorly happening. There could be, like, I'm seeing, my guides are showing me something to do with housing. So there could be something on the news around that time about something to do with, like, maybe like rates and getting increased with housing, or people having a difficult time with housing, or something about housing at that time. So housing in 4 days. Time, I'm going to say news regarding. Now, let's just say you're watching this later in time. This could be, let's just say, like getting approved for an apartment, or hearing back, like say you put a post somewhere and like you're trying to move and trying to find a place to live, hearing back on something. For some of you. For some of you, this is like something to do with your housing within 4 days, like a change within 4 days. So let's just say you're watching this maybe just before a move, or you're going to go look at a new apartment, you know, and then you're watching this and it's like within this 4 day period, there's something about going on within 4 days. I'm seeing that specifically from Moon. Moon is also saying to have patience. We have the 7 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles is a card about patience. It's about timing. It's about, waiting. See, she's holding these fruit. And this one's really ripe. These other ones are getting there, and this one's not quite ripe. So it's like, there's timing issues about things coming to fruition. Because they're showing me this, I would also say, like the moon cycle, something to do with the moon cycles. So let's just say in 4 moon cycles from now, or for this actually could be like within 1 month from now, like 1 lunar cycle. I would also follow the eclipses. I'm getting different time frames, so there's something to do with within moons, to certain moon cycles. Could be also 2 moon cycles. So I'm just going to say one month, 2 months, I'll say 4 potentially. This is just having patience, needing patience, because again, certain things have not happened yet, and that doesn't mean they won't, because it's like when things ripen in their own time. And this is funny, my guys were showing me, this earlier today. It's like everybody has their own timing about things. And there's certain signs specifically that do things or in their own time, like you cannot push them, you cannot rush them. they just refuse to do things within anybody else's time aside from theirs. So it's like there isn't necessarily a sense of urgency with some people. They just kind of go along in their life like at a certain pace. Like, and you can't say, hey, I need you to do this now. It just won't happen. For others, there's people that I've met that are incredibly resistant to doing things with a sense of urgency. Now, I'm from the East Coast, so everything is done with a sense of urgency. Everything's done with, okay, we got to do this today. It needs to happen today. It's very clear it needs to happen today. But like, let's just say in other places you go meet other people, they don't really function like that. They function in, they'll do it when they get to it. They'll do it when they have time for it. They'll do it when it's good for them. So there might be a lot of frustration around this because it's really hard to get things done in your time if other people don't have a sense of urgency. They don't have a sense of like importance of like getting stuff done for you. Like it's not that they're selfish per se, but like you could say that they're selfish at times because they're not thinking about the practicalities of life. And I'm just going to say, like, maybe there's just frustration around timing. But also, people not getting your timing. Okay, so as another thing too, I'm going to say this is, you know, coming from me as a 41-year-old female who hasn't had children yet. So like, let's just say hypothetically, I was to go start dating. If I start to date, it's going to need to be part of the conversation that I have not had children yet. So if somebody wasn't ready to have children, or if somebody wasn't wanting to have children, or if they hadn't even gotten to that point where they thought about it, or it wasn't even something they had thought about or considered, then they would not be on the same page as me, you know, and it would be impractical to be with them because they're not going to really understand my sense of timing. And it's not that I'm in a rush or that has to happen today, but it's more just like, you know, that it's part of the conversation to understand other people's timing. And I encourage everybody that's watching this to start to think about what's best for other people in their time. Time moves differently for people, you know? So like what's best for somebody in their time? And maybe like, this is just an example. I'm going to use this as an example, okay? Like, let's just say somebody tells you that they're going to, say, get an overdraft fee if something isn't deposited today. The timing would be that they would have to deposit it today or else they're going to get the overdraft fee. That's their timing. But let's just say you decided to wait a week and help them later when you got to it in your time. Well, they're still going to get the overdraft fee. And they're probably going to be like, okay, you know, I'm not sure what happened, but that didn't necessarily help me because now I have an overdraft fee. And I have to pay the extra $36. Do you see what I'm trying to tell you? Like, it's just sort of like a timing thing where it's like, I encourage everybody to think about other people's timing and like try to have a sense of urgency. Like, that's what this Aries, the highest vibration of like the Aries sun is like. They have a sense of get up and go. You know, Aries people have a sense of let's get this done. Let's do this. Let's do this now. We don't really have to overthink it. We can just go and do it. It's not a big deal. Just let's go and do it. You know, we don't have to talk about it too much. I don't know if you've ever met any Aries people that were really like, they don't like to talk too much, like overthink too much. Like I've met some Aries who just have actually difficulties getting to the point where they actually can't talk that much. They, like after a certain period of time, they run out of like steam when it comes to like having like a long, deep conversation. Now, Scorpio can talk to all day and all night and they never get tired. But sometimes Taurus as well. But like Aries, it's one of those things where having a sense of get up and go is like one of their deals. So like at this time, I'm going to say have a sense of get up and go. Like no hemming and hawing. In Moon is like have no excuses. No excuses or arguments for why you shouldn't. And if you, like, let's just say have, like, I don't know, one of those jobs where you have to get things done, but you set things aside and you don't necessarily have a sense of urgency, just know that in my mind, that creates karma for you, because you have to get through things with other people's timing in mind. And I'm just saying this because it's not only discourteous, it's not helpful. Let's just put it that way. It's not helpful to the planet. It's not helpful to other people. And like, if you know that, like, somebody, let's just say, like, if you were trying to process an application or something for somebody, like, say that's the job that you had, but you put it aside and you kind of just let it, like, dawdle, and you knew that, you know, you missed the deadline or you didn't get back to them or whatever, to me, that's creating karma, because it's not good for them. And we all need to be mindful of other people at this time. That's the Aries shadow of the Libra. We have to start to be mindful of other people and what's going on with other people. Otherwise, things are really going to get backed up, and that's not what we want. Okay. I feel like for some of you, for someone that's watching, there's an element of loss or an ending of some kind. I feel like some of you, like, this is within male-female relationships. This could be also girl-girl. There could be also grief as well here. To me, there's a strong nostalgic feeling of not really being over the past. What does the moon want to say about that? She's showing me, like, you have to kind of move through energy and let emotions move through you. Like, she's showing me, like, her moving through the water, and she lets the water kind of move around her. She's letting it move through her, the energy of the water as well. So it's not just like she's swimming around and, like, the water and her are separate. No, their energies are merged. And I truly believe actually whales clean the water, like, energetically, they purify the water. And it's one of the beautiful things about this planet, but, like, I truly believe, like, some of you need to let energy and emotions move through you, or move, I want to say, like, some of you need to move on from something, but it's more like letting the emotion or the energy move through you or move off of you, and then clearing that out. Like, just saying, okay, we're going to let this go. I'm going to say letting something go. Someone go. Letting energy and emotion move through. And to me, the Page of Cups is also, you know, from the positive side of this, the Page of Cups is having a lot of alone time. Maybe not spending a lot of time with other people. So, you know, the beauty of the Aries energy is that this is a great time, if you need alone time, to do it, to take it. But at the same time, you know, call up a friend, see what other people are doing. Like, try not to lose touch completely. Kind of keep your toe in a little bit. Maybe send a mass email to say, hey, what's going on with everybody? Or maybe, you know, write a couple of different, like, greeting cards if you know, needed to send thank you cards to anybody, you know, like, little things, you know, look at your mail, be like, you know, I could have gotten back to this person and I didn't, so I'm going to go do that now. This is the kind of time to do that. It's a balance point, you know, but I feel like this is a very peaceful card in general. It's very chill. So, regardless of whoever's watching, there is a lot of peace to be had, and I like to see that. Peace to be had. Now, the thing about this is that some of you, like, to me, there's, like, contrast. So, like, the other reading that I was previously had to stop recording, there's a lot of conflict. So some of you are in, like, war mode, you're in conflict mode, and there's not a lot of peace. Others, you're in the peace mode and like you're just taking time for yourself and you're doing you and you're like letting things move through you and you're processing. I feel like you're processing a lot of information. You're thinking a lot about things, and you might be very emotional, or you might just be kind of processing your emotions in a way that is actually healthy, because to me the Page of Cups is healthy. So I have to end this reading here. I'm going to take a last look at my notes, just so if anybody wants to read through. And yeah, I wish everybody the best, and I will look forward to seeing you guys again in my next reading. And you know, please like and subscribe and all that stuff. I appreciate it so much. If you'd like to donate, you can donate through the links below in the description box. I've been trying to put them in the comments. All donations are very appreciated. Or if you'd like to book a reading, you can book a reading through my website, oracledaphne.com. All right, thanks guys. Wish you guys the best. Big hugs, big kisses. Take care. Bye.